Alright, so a while back I made a video called Top 10 Nepo Babies, and I only listed 3. And recently I was reading the comments of that video, and it turns out that I missed a lot of Nepo Babies that people wanted me to talk about. So I figured, why not make a second one? Now, in case any of you watching this haven't seen that first video, or you just don't know what a Nepo baby is, allow me to explain. Basically, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. A Nepo baby is someone who was born into nepotism, okay? Their family is so rich and successful that they probably don't have to work a day in their life, and if they do, they're going to have a very easy way getting to a high position because of their family and connection. And as of right now, the most popular example of this is LeBron James Jr., Bronny James. Despite the fact that he was a very lackluster college player, his dad is fucking LeBron James. So the Lakers took him in the second round of the NBA draft, and as of right now, a lot of people are calling him a Nepo baby, because if his last name wasn't James, he probably would not be in the NBA. By the way, Bronny James is a very talented basketball player who would cook me. I was just using him as an example, so please don't hate on me. Now, the reason I like talking about Nepo babies is because I find them very interesting, because, you know, everyone thinks it's easy to be one. You know, you have all the money and connections in the world, but at the same time, you also have very high expectations, okay? Take LeBron James' son, okay? He has all the genetics, all the money to be one of the greatest basketball players in the world, and he went to USC, played Division I basketball. He's a very talented athlete. But people still undermine him because, you know, he's not as good as his dad. But even though he has that unrealistic standard and all that pressure on him, he's still not folding, okay? He's still in the NBA playing with LeBron James, okay? Now take Michael Jordan's son, for example, okay? You probably didn't even know he existed. And that's because he hasn't played basketball in like 5 years. But guess what? Okay, LeBron James' son was a D1 player. He started and averaged 12 points a game, all right? That is a very impressive athletic career, but guess what? No, everyone thinks he's a fucking loser because he's Michael Jordan's son and Michael Jordan was so great. And he is a perfect example of folding to the pressure because now he's drunk driving, doing drugs, fucking crashing out. And that is my whole point, essentially. It is very interesting to see what path these Nepo babies go down. So with all that being said, in today's video, we're going to be looking at different types of Nepo babies, how they handled their unique situation, and ranking them based on what they did with it. So, yeah, with all that being said, let's dive into the actual video. But before we do that, dude, my back has been killing me. This chair absolutely sucks. You know what? I think it's time for an upgrade. Oh my god, that is so much better. Wait, hold on. New desk too? What? Hello? Today's video is sponsored by FlexiSpot, and I'm not even kidding, they have saved me. You guys see this? This was my old desk and chair, alright? It was about 50 bucks on Amazon. I genuinely think I have done detrimental damage to my back by using this setup. Like, I kid you not, there will be some days where I record a video for like 5-6 hours straight, and I am just dying, okay? My left shoulder right here is killing me, and my lower back is just blown out. But guess what I can do with the E7 Pro from FlexiSpot? Yup, that's right, we're standing now. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do the rest of this ad standing. Like I said before, I spend a lot of time sitting at my desk, so whenever my back hurts but I have to keep on working, all I have to do is just put up the height and I'm good. Like, me personally, I like to sit down when I record my videos, but whenever I have to edit, I just put the desk up and edit standing because it makes my back feel way better. But if I'm being totally honest, my favorite part about this desk is just how it looks. Like, if I'm being, like, I know that sounds stupid, but a lot of desks are really ugly on the leg area, and this just looks hella clean. Like, that's just my personal opinion. And if you're wondering why I recommend this desk over literally any other, it's just the quality, dude. Like, I know you can't really feel it through the screen, but dude, this just feels nice. Also, check this shit out. Hold on. Let's lower it real quick. It's sturdy as a motherfucker. Like, what other YouTuber is doing this on their desk? And we haven't even talked about the chair yet, okay? Like I said before, my last one, straight dog water. This one is not only so comfortable, there's so much, like, unnecessary stuff you can do. Like, check this out. Look at this. You want to relax? You want to recline? Boom. Chilling. Hold on. You want a footrest too? Right? Hold on. I can also adjust how far I want this. Why is it so fucking loud? This isn't even an office chair anymore. I mean, it is. It works amazing as one. But dude, I would buy this for my room. Like, I would just sit in this casually, you know? But, yeah, I just showed you guys the E7 Pro standing desk and the C7 Max ergonomic desk chair, and you can find them both on the first page of FlexiSpot's website. If either of these products caught your attention and you want a discount code, use my code right here, first link in the description. But, yeah, with all that being said, it's time to dive into the actual video, okay? Top 10 Nepo Babies of all time, part 2. Let's go. Alright, so first up on the list, we got Shedeur Sanders. For those of you who don't know who this is, he is a quarterback who recently got drafted in the 2025 NFL Draft. But most importantly, he is the son of Deion Sanders, one of the greatest cornerbacks in NFL history. Now, the main reason I wanted to talk about this guy in particular is because he is a perfect example of the third archetype when it comes to Nepo babies. Usually, when a very well-known and successful athlete has a son, that kid is set to very high expectations. And usually, the child of the athlete either succumbs to the pressure and doesn't live up to his expectations, or they embrace it and possibly become better than their father. But like I said before, usually when it comes to Nepo babies like this, there's actually a third outcome. We already talked about the winner, we already talked about the loser, now it's time to talk about what I like to call the celebrity. And Shedeur Sanders is a perfect example. Basically, the celebrity is when a Nepo baby of a very popular and famous athlete actually finds his own success and creates his own path. So not only is he going viral and becoming famous for being good at his sport, it's also being emphasized by the fact that he is the son of a very famous athlete. And because of all of these factors combined, they are getting a lot more clout and media attention compared to other athletes who are just as good as them. But remember, okay, these guys are actually good. They are performing. They deserve all of this fame. And on top of that, they were born into a rich family. Okay, they've been famous since they were 15. These guys have essentially made it. They are already living the life of a professional athlete, but they're just not in the league yet. Now take everything I just said and apply it to your own life, okay? How do you think that would affect your ego? And if you didn't say it would make you hella cocky, you're fucking lying. Okay, simple as that. It is human nature to let all of that kind of stuff inflate your personal ego, and having social status and wealth at a very young age is a recipe for cockiness. And right now, we are seeing exactly what I'm talking about in real time with Shedeur Sanders. Like I said before, not only is his father one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time, Shedeur Sanders has been one of the greatest high school quarterbacks of all time. And the media coverage this motherfucker had was absolutely insane. Not only would like every single sports outlet post this guy for literally breathing, but he even had his own reality TV show. Okay, the motherfucker had his own Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Then fast forward to his college career, he ignored all of his big offers to go to Jackson State so he could play under, you guessed it, his fucking father. Then his father got a better coaching position at CU Boulder, so he transferred with like half of his team, and they pretty much just ransacked the Boulder football roster and like half of them transferred. Meanwhile, Deion Sanders is making it abundantly clear that he has a say in what happens to his son's football career. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is busy driving his Rolls Royce around campus, racking up parking tickets he knows he doesn't have to worry about, and acting like a fucking celebrity. By the way, he is still good at football. Like, he is playing and performing. But either way, the reason I am saying all of this is to show you guys that Shedeur Sanders has always gotten anything he's ever wanted. Obviously, that's a very blanket statement, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. He's good at sports, his family is rich, he's basically a celebrity. For lack of a better term, he's fucking spoiled. And you can see this in the way that he behaves and acts, and has gotten a lot of hate on social media for this exact behavior. And on top of that, his dad is like the LeVar Ball of football, and has made it abundantly clear to teams that if you draft his son, you're gonna have to deal with him. So now, combine the crazy rapper personality that Shedeur Sanders has, and combine it with the fact that he is a literal drone of a father constantly hovering over him, who has made sure his son gets anything he ever has wanted. How do you think NFL teams are gonna see that? I'll give you a hint, not fucking good. According to multiple NFL mock drafts, Shedeur Sanders was supposed to go in the top 5. Okay, the top 5 picks in the entire NFL draft. But instead, he wasn't even picked in the first round, or the second round, or the third round, or the fourth. Shedeur Sanders was selected by the Cleveland Browns in the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft with the 144th overall pick. Keep in mind, he was supposed to go top 5. But the story doesn't end there. As a matter of fact, it's just getting started. Because this is like the first ever time Shedeur Sanders has actually faced some sort of hardship in his life, a lot of people on social media found it funny because of his like persona on the internet. As a matter of fact, people found it so funny that the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons' son prank called him and fake drafted him. This is the guy who made the prank call, by the way, and the phone number that you call to draft an NFL player is very confidential information. You know, obviously only teams have that shit. So the fact that some random college student just got it and fucking like prank called him is crazy. And of course this only happens to Shedeur Sanders. I can guarantee you, if he wasn't a fucking like celebrity, literally, this wouldn't have happened to him. You can actually see it in the phone call when the guy calls him up. He's like, "I've been waiting on you." Motherfucker, you're getting drafted 4 rounds late, and you're acting like what? Come on now, that's crazy. And that's basically my whole point. He's cocky and spoiled and has had everything handed to him. So he has like this sort of like celebrity personality that NFL players don't really attain up until they're drafted and adults that can handle that fame and money. But because he had it at such a young age, he doesn't know how to handle it. And now he's acting like all this and getting a bunch of hate and getting fake drafted and prank called. So yeah, that is the celebrity. When your ego just fucking over, you're good at what you do. You're not a failure, but you're not like humble about it. You act as if you're the guy. And I mean, you might be the guy, don't get me wrong, but it's like no one likes when you act like it. You have to naturally be the guy. So yeah. First up on the list, Shedeur Sanders, the celebrity Nepo baby. Another notable example of this are the Ball brothers, but mainly LaMelo. You know, Lonzo is pretty low-key. I think he's doing a great job handling his fame. And then LiAngelo just kind of fucking sucked and then became a rapper. Good. His music's pretty tough though, so I'm not gonna hate on him for that. But yeah. LaMelo Ball though, that motherfucker plays like street ball and he still drops like 30. And he just kind of gives this like rapper personality as well that people don't really fuck with. So either way, yeah, that is the first person on the list, Shedeur Sanders. Alright, so quick little disclaimer before this next part. This is about an F1 driver who I had no idea existed before I made this video, so please bear with me as I try and give you guys the right information. But either way, with all that being said, I would like you guys all to meet Lance Stroll, okay? The Nepo baby of all Nepo babies. And the reason that I call him that is because for those of you who don't know, Lance Stroll is a very notorious Formula 1 driver. And F1 is quite literally the most expensive sport in the entire world. And when I say that, I don't mean actual F1, okay? Most F1 drivers start with like professional go-karting, okay? And that hobby already is insanely expensive. And basically what I'm trying to say is that when you watch an F1 race, all of those drivers, none of them got it out the mud, okay? Most likely they're all from pretty wealthy families, and some of them could probably be considered Nepo babies themselves. But then you got motherfuckers like Lance Stroll, who somehow managed to out-Nepo baby all the other Nepo babies. Because, in case you guys didn't know, Lance Stroll's father is Lawrence Stroll, the owner of Aston Martin. And guess what fucking team Lance Stroll races for? And if you still don't believe me, being a racer on an F1 team is very exclusive, okay? They usually only have 2 to 3 drivers on a team. And at the moment, Aston Martin currently has about 3 active drivers, so I thought, why not introduce ourselves to them? First up, we got Sebastian Vettel, okay? A 4-time world champion and a former F1 prodigy. Not only has he been racing for almost 20 years, when he won the world champion back in 2010, he was the youngest F1 driver to ever do so. Then you got Fernando Alonso, a seasoned veteran who races aggressively and is known for his crazy comebacks. And then, last but not least, you got Lance Stroll, who's known for being Lawrence Stroll's son. He also gets into a lot of crazy crashes and really just has no reason to be on an F1 team other than the fact that his dad pays for it. Like, the entire F1 community fucking hates this guy, okay? If you're an F1 fan, you most likely do not like Lance Stroll because he's seen as a paid driver. Because it's a very respectable position, right? It's like, like I said before, it's absurdly exclusive. There's only about 2 drivers per team, and hundreds and thousands of people are trying to be F1 drivers. So like, you know, when it comes to other Nepo babies like celebrities, actors, and athletes, it's like, you know, they might be getting more attention than someone who's better than them, but it's like, there's plenty of spots, you know, people can still make it with them. But then you got people like Lance Stroll, who's taking like 1 of 2 fucking spots on a driving team. Like, just because his dad wants to pay for it, like, hello? And that is why Lance Stroll is on this list, okay? Not only is he participating in the most Nepo baby sport in the world, Formula 1, he out-nepotism them by having his dad buy the fucking team. And on top of that, it's a very exclusive sport, and he's taking the seat away from other very talented and hungry drivers who deserve that spot. Obviously, this motherfucker deserves to be on this list. So, yeah, number 2, Lance Stroll, the most Nepo baby to ever fucking Nepo baby. Alright, so when it comes to my final thoughts, originally I was gonna say Shedeur Sanders is worse than Lance Stroll, mainly because I just don't like Shedeur Sanders, but, I think Lance Stroll definitely deserves to be hated more, not because he had it easier or anything, but mainly because the sport he's in and how exclusive he is, he really is taking away a lot of opportunities for other people, you know? Like, Shedeur Sanders, like, there's like, what, like 4 or 5 quarterbacks on an NFL team, 4 or 5, like, there's like 8 quarterbacks on a college team, you know? High school teams is like 4. It's like, yeah, he's a Nepo baby, but he's also good, and Lance Stroll, I'd say Shedeur Sanders is better at football than Lance Stroll is at F1 driving, you know? So, yeah, not only is Lance Stroll just a pure Nepo baby, but he's also just taking away opportunities, and, you know, Shedeur Sanders, he's just fucking annoying. He's just cocky, so, yeah. But either way, guys, I think that is gonna be the video. Moral of the story, be humble. Okay, be humble. Okay, there's nothing more corny than be humble. Oh my god. There's nothing more corny than a motherfucker who's successful and isn't like nonchalant about it, or is just weird about it, you know? Like, you know the aura you get from being successful? That all goes away once you're like, yeah, I'm so successful, I make the, you know? So like, that's kind of like what Shedeur Sanders is doing, so yeah, that is what I have to say. But either way, that's gonna be the video, guys. I hope you all loved it. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope I educated at least one of you. And yeah, sub to my channel, join the Discord, buy some fucking merch. And yeah, that's gonna be the video, guys. Peace out. Love you all. Bye.
That's my dog, but Pooh, you know I'm